Today, we're diving into one of the most critical aspects of cybersecurity, understanding the different types of vulnerabilities. Cyber threats are on the rise, and knowing where your systems may be at risk is key to protecting your information. From network vulnerabilities to human weaknesses, we'll break down each type in detail and share tips on how you can defend against them. So if you want to stay safe online, hit that subscribe button and let's get started. In simple terms, a cybersecurity vulnerability is a weakness or flaw in a system that can be exploited by hackers to access, manipulate, or steal data. Vulnerabilities come in various forms, and understanding these types can make a big difference in your security posture. In this video, we'll explain network, software, hardware, human, and physical vulnerabilities so you know exactly where to focus your efforts to stay protected. Let's start with network vulnerabilities, one of the most common entry points for cyber attacks. Network vulnerabilities occur when there are security gaps in a company's or individual's network configuration. This could include unpatched routers, unsecured Wi-Fi networks, weak firewall rules, or open ports. Attackers can use these weaknesses to bypass security controls and access sensitive information. To protect against network vulnerabilities, make sure your firewall is correctly configured, update your router's firmware, and disable unused ports. Strong network segmentation and monitoring are also vital to reduce risks. Next up, we have software vulnerabilities, which are flaws in a program's code that hackers can exploit. Common examples include buffer overflows, SQL injection flaws, and cross-site scripting, or XSS. Software vulnerabilities often exist because of bugs or design flaws, and they can allow attackers to gain unauthorized access, manipulate data, or crash the system entirely. Regular software updates and patches are essential in defending against these vulnerabilities. A vulnerability management program can help keep software vulnerabilities under control, especially for businesses with extensive IT environments. Moving on to hardware vulnerabilities. These refer to weaknesses in physical devices, like CPUs, that can be exploited by attackers. Two well-known examples are the Spectre and Meltdown vulnerabilities that affected millions of processors, potentially exposing sensitive data. Other hardware vulnerabilities may include vulnerabilities in IoT devices or outdated hardware with limited security features. Protecting against hardware vulnerabilities requires a mix of regular hardware updates, network segmentation, and device-level security controls. It's also critical to replace obsolete devices, as older hardware often lacks the necessary security to protect against modern attacks. Human vulnerabilities are often considered the biggest risk in cybersecurity. These vulnerabilities are introduced by user errors or poor security practices, like weak passwords, falling for phishing attacks, or clicking on malicious links. Social engineering exploits human psychology to bypass security controls. Phishing emails and fake support calls are common examples. To address human vulnerabilities, it's important to implement security training for employees and individuals alike. A strong security culture that emphasizes vigilance, multi-factor authentication, and password hygiene can make a huge difference. Physical vulnerabilities are weaknesses that can occur when attackers gain physical access to devices. This can lead to theft, tampering, or even data breaches from unprotected hardware. An unlocked office, an unattended laptop, or a server room without proper security controls are examples of physical vulnerabilities. Simple practices like securing workspaces, using access controls, and locking devices when not in use can go a long way. In larger organizations, CCTV and entry logs are also essential to track and limit physical access. Configuration vulnerabilities are mistakes made during the setup or configuration of systems. These include improperly configured firewalls, weak security settings, or excessive permissions granted to users. Attackers can exploit these misconfigurations to gain unauthorized access, often without detection. To combat this, regular audits and system checks should be conducted to ensure configurations are secure. Least privilege policies should be implemented, giving users access only to the resources they absolutely need. Protecting against vulnerabilities requires a multi-layered approach. Regular updates, strong firewall rules, employee awareness training, and consistent monitoring can help mitigate risks. Every organization and individual should have a proactive vulnerability management plan that includes regular vulnerability scans and penetration testing to stay ahead of potential threats. With a combination of these strategies, you can significantly reduce the risk of a successful attack. Understanding vulnerabilities is the first step to strengthening your cybersecurity. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more cybersecurity insights and tips to stay safe online. Stay secure and see you in the next video.